Yo, what's going on, you guys? My name is Owen and welcome back to another video. As you guys probably already know, this video is going to be the showcase for my new collection for my clothing brand Colette Hyatt. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, then you already know that I have a clothing brand. And it's been my full-time job for right around a year-ish now, maybe a little bit less than a year. Even though my main platforms for like social media or whatever are Instagram, I feel like being able to see clothing move on the body, seeing how the fabric drapes, how it fits in motion, is super important to the buying process, especially for me at least. I like to see clothing in more than one dimension, which is why I feel like doing a video showcase, showing you guys the whole collection is absolutely necessary. This video goes live Friday afternoon and the collection drops Saturday afternoon. It drops on the 22nd at 12 p.m. EST. I'm not sure what that time is for wherever you are in the world, but I want to pick a time that I feel like fit close to the middle where most people are still awake. So hopefully that time works for you guys, and hopefully you don't have to stay up too late or something like that in order to check out the collection. The Instagram for the website is at Colette Hyatt. It used to be at Colette_Hyatt, but since I have the trademark, I was able to get the other account deleted, which means I could claim that one for myself. And then the website is ColetteHyatt.com. And yeah, without further ado, I guess we should just hop right into the showcase. I guess I'll start off with this item right here. So this piece is probably my personal favorite out of the collection. If I was forced to choose one thing from the collection to pick as my favorite, it'd probably be this item. But obviously there are a lot of close seconds. So this item right here is the white stag wool and cashmere sweater. As you guys can probably tell, there is a big design of a stag that is knit into the sweater. If you guys are familiar with the first collection, then you know that I dropped the cathedral sweater, which had a jacquard process, which means that the fabric is actually layered. And so for each color that's part of the design, there's a layer of knit behind it that it's interwoven. It's really hard to describe. This process for this sweater is actually intarsia, which is a very, very difficult process. This process has to be hand assembled, whereas jacquarding can generally just be done through a machine. And just to show you guys what the intarsia process looks like, so you can see that when you flip it inside out, you can actually see the design. Whereas with the jacquard, it will generally have like an inverse of the design. But what the intarsia process looks like is that it has different panels of the colors. So for the grass part of the design, that's its own panel. And for the actually like white part of the stag, it's a different panel. For the outline, it's a different panel, and they all have to be hand knit and stitched together so that it becomes one cohesive image. It's very, very complicated, especially once you get to like the more intricate parts of the design, obviously. But yeah, I'm extremely stoked on this item. The actual materials used are quite amazing, especially for the price too. This is 70% wool and 30% cashmere, and the price of the item is $275. And if you guys are familiar with fabrics and the cost of fabrics, then you know that this price is kind of unbelievable. But I want to make this sweater as available to you guys as possible. So I priced it at $275, which I feel like is extremely fair and extremely reasonable, especially for the process and the materials. And just the design overall. I feel like the design is extremely strong. On the sleeves, we have some extra details. We have a little peace sign right there. And we have a CH with another animal stitched onto the sleeve in the same intarsia construction process. I forgot to mention, by the way, this is a sample, which is why there's no tag on the back of the neck. The fit of the sweater is extremely boxy and oversized. As you guys can probably tell, the actual body is very, very wide. This is a size medium, by the way. I generally wear a medium to large. So for the on-body clips, you guys get an idea of how it looks on me and how it looks on body. The fit is sort of like an improved fit of the first collection sweater. So it's a little bit wider and it's way more drapey than the first collection one. I feel like the first collection one was a little bit too cinched in at the waist, if that makes sense. Like it was too grippy with that bottom hem and on the sleeves. But for this one, the sleeves are extremely drapey. There's almost no pull in, which I feel like creates a really cool silhouette. I really love the colors too. It took a long time to pick the right colors. We went through so many different iterations. At one point, instead of a brown, this is like a heather gray. Just as like an experiment. Yeah, this is what the final product looks like. If you were curious what size you want to go for on drop day, I do have all the measurements of each item in the collection posted up on the Colette Hyatt Instagram account in the story highlights. Yeah, for this item I usually float between like a medium or a large. The large is just a little bit more oversized and drapey. Yeah, that is the first item, the white stag wool cashmere sweater. Let's move on to the jeans next. So for the jeans, I have two different colorways. I have the vintage blue colorway and then the washed black colorway. And these are called the Valley denim. I guess we'll just start off with the black pair first. So obviously the main detail of these jeans are the overlocked curved stitching that comes from the top, goes all the way down onto the bottom, and then the bottom also features a raw hem, meaning that the hem has been undone, leaving like a nice frayed edge at the bottom. The stitches are overlock, which is like a specific type of stitch pattern, and it comes down both sides too, so it goes down the front and the back. My favorite part about the actual stitching detail is the curve. You guys can see that the curve comes from like the middle of the leg and then takes a gradual turn around the like knee-ish area and then goes straight down the rest of the leg on both sides. It's a really interesting detail that I feel like it makes these jeans kind of stand out from the crowd. I really like the wash on these too. I'm normally not really a black jeans kind of guy, but because these are basically a gray, I feel like it fits in with my wardrobe really nicely. And that pop of red is just so cool. It can make a monochromatic outfit kind of stand out. I forgot to mention that the stitching goes underneath the pockets too, so the pockets are sewn on after that stitching detail is done. We also have the custom jacrone on the back. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it's like the back leather patch you see on a lot of jeans. This one is embossed with the new CH logo right there. I'm super happy with the logo. I really love this patch. And I also made sure that both sides of the patch are open, so when you do loop a belt through, you can go under this patch and have that little branding stick out, which is really nice. The fit is like a straight leg fit. It kind of depends what waist size you go for. So even though this is tagged to size 30, it fits more like a true 31-ish. That's because I wanted to make sure that you could wear a belt very easily with this pair of jeans, because I feel like wearing a belt just makes the outfit look even better. Pretty much all the time with jeans actually. So if you were debating which size to get, I would probably go with either your true to size or size down if you want to be a little bit more slim. Even though I'm a true waist 31, I generally gravitate towards the 30s, but if I wanted them to fit a little bit more baggy, I'll go with my 32s, which I have right here. Again, there are measurements up on the story highlights of the Colette Hyatt Instagram account if you want to check which size you want to go for. So yeah, the fit is straight legged. That's what the black pair looks like. Let me pull out the blue pair right here. So this is the blue size 30s. I'm super happy with the wash on these. We had actually gone through a couple different washes of the blue before we found the one that we like the best, which is this one. This is like my ideal wash when it comes to a pair of jeans. Which is so cool to say because it's so, like, there are so many different blue washes. We went with the wash that's darker before, we went with the wash that's super light before, but we eventually found the perfect wash. The raw hem definitely stands out more on this blue pair. You guys can see the color difference right there, where it goes from the almost raw indigo to the more faded washed blue at the top. Most of the details are the same. It's got the same patch, it's got the same stitching underneath, except the stitching on this pair is more like a cream off-white. Originally the stitching was red on these, but I wasn't feeling the red on the blue, so I swapped it to a cream off-white and it looks so much better in my opinion. The sizing is the same on these, so even though I'm a waist 31, I generally gravitate towards the 30, but I could also wear a 32 and it fits completely fine. I think these look best when wearing a belt. It just makes the jeans pop so much more. If I had to compare the fit of these jeans to a already existing pair of jeans, it would probably be the 505s from Levi's. Except it has a slightly more, altered fit. It's not exactly a one-for-one from Levi's. The Valley denim in both colorways are priced at $200, which I think is extremely fair. Originally it was going to be a little bit higher. I think $200 is such a nice price. It makes it very affordable for a lot of people. These jeans are going to last you so long too. They're built so well. I've been wearing my pair for probably 4 months now, multiple times a week, 4 months. And they just wear in so nicely. When I went to LA, I gave a bunch of these pairs out to my friends, and they love the jeans, they love how they fit. Something that I really like about jeans and why I wanted to do a pair of jeans is that they're very customizable. Some people like their jeans more cropped, so some of my friends have actually cut off the bottom part of the jeans, either because maybe it was just too long for them, or because they just wanted a more cropped fit. And you can also throw a flare on these too. I have another black pair where the outside of the hem has been cut, which means that it flares out a little bit, so it looks really nice on shoes. So it has a completely different look than the standard out-of-the-box pair of these jeans. So they're really customizable. I'm probably gonna throw a flare on these blue ones at some point. I forgot to mention that if at its standard length, it's too long for you at your current waist size, you can also throw a quick hem on the bottom, meaning you just fold up the bottom portion right here and then re-sew that hem so it looks like a pretty standard pair of jeans. Moving on to the next items, I think I'll talk about the t-shirts next. So right here I only have 2 t-shirts, but there are 3 total t-shirts in the collection. I actually gave my third one, because these are all my personals, I gave my third one to Jacob Wallace. You guys probably know him. So yeah, I didn't want to have to ask for it back, so I'm just letting him hang on to that one, but it's pretty much the same as these other ones, except with a different graphic on the front and also a different color. I guess start off with this one first. So the t-shirts are super, super nice. This is easily like one of the best fitting and best quality t-shirts that I own, and I'm not just saying that. The actual material of these are extremely soft, and they're also really nice and thick too, so they're not like a very lightweight tee where you can like see your nipples and shit through them. I definitely prefer a heavyweight t-shirt, which is exactly what I got here. A lot of trial and error. We went through so many different samples with these t-shirts before we landed on this one. And then some of the other details are that the sleeves are all single stitch, which is very reminiscent of vintage tees before like 95, 96. They generally all had single stitch sleeves and also hems too, which also is single stitch. I want to give the look and feel that these are like a vintage t-shirt that have been around for many, many years. Which also comes into play with the graphic too. This is the In the Pines t-shirt. It's on this really nice like faded yellow. I'm not exactly sure how the camera picks it up, but it's like it's a very washed yellow, almost pale, I guess. The graphic was inspired by one of my favorite vintage tees. It's got a really nice scene of two cowboys chilling out with their horses in front of the mountains in the forest. And then we also have a big 78 printed right underneath that. The actual screen print itself has cracks already in it, kind of alluding to the idea that it's like a vintage tee. The fit is really nice. It's like oversized and boxy. You guys will see what it looks like with the on body. I priced all the t-shirts at $65, which I feel like is extremely fair, especially for t-shirts of this kind of quality. If I had to compare this kind of t-shirt in terms of the quality to other brands, it'd probably be more like $100, $110. The next t-shirt I have is the Shepherd's Patch t-shirt. Which is a motif that you'll see in this jacket too. I wanted to do a t-shirt that was very plain and simple, but it still has that brand recognition with it. It's kind of our take on, you know, the little embroidered polo guy that you see on the Ralph Lauren like t-shirts, polos, shit like that. So the actual base of the t-shirt is the same as the other t-shirts in the collection, except this is with a washed black. It's a black t-shirt that's been put through an enzyme wash, which gives it a really nice like vintage look and feel. So the actual Shepherd's Patch is a little square of leather that's been shaved at the top, which gives it a frayed, kind of like rough, like almost like a suede, I guess, look to it. And it has blue metallic thread embroidery in the shape of a sheep, which is one of the motifs of the collection. Again, this one is also single stitch on the hem and also on the sleeves. Like I was saying earlier, I wanted this item to be a little bit more toned down and simple, not have like a big graphic or a big image or design on it, which is something I feel like anybody could wear. Like this piece easily fits into anybody's wardrobe. And yeah, this patch has gone through so many different iterations. I'm very happy with the final product. I don't even want to show you guys what the first ones were looking like because they were so bad in comparison. I'm super happy with the final product. Like all these items, I guess. And the final t-shirt, again, like I said, I don't have it with me, but I'll throw up a picture of it right now. It's got the same material as the other t-shirts, except it's on a cream base. It might look white in some photos, but it is like a cream colored t-shirt. And then it has like a nice like blood red print. The graphic also has that pre-cracked look to it, which is the same as this t-shirt right here. The graphic on the cream tee says Little Rock Bird Study from Colette Hyatt. I'm super stoked on that graphic. The typography on it is amazing. I think the image is so cool too, and I really like the colors. Earlier in the sampling process, it was a white base. However, I feel like the cream is just so much better. It looks really nice. It has that vintage look to it. It looks a little bit more unique than a white tee with the graphic on it. The reason why I don't have it with me is because that was my personal tee, and I gave it to Jacob, and he's just been wearing it ever since. So I didn't want to ask for it back, so enjoy that, Jacob. That one's yours. Before I move on to the accessories of the collection, I want to talk about the jacket. Which is really like, man, this item has come a long way from like the early sampling stages. At some points I was debating just cutting it from the collection because it was so far away from the final product which I had in my mind. But you know, we finally made it. And it looks so beautiful. So this right here is the Shepherd's Patch Reversible Liner Jacket. It's definitely a mouthful of a name, but you guys can probably tell that the base of the jacket has the silhouette of a liner jacket, which is almost an attachment of a military jacket that you would button in to be a little bit more insulated, to make a jacket more suitable for extreme weathers. And that was like the inspiration for this piece. So as you guys can see, the zipper is completely visible, which is a detail you would see on a lot of vintage liner jackets. And the zipper is also double-sided because it is reversible, which I will show in a little bit. But this is the exterior side. The material on the exterior side is so nice. I would compare it to like a washed like vintage cotton, but it is like a cotton nylon blend. It's just really soft. It has like Really cool like natural fading to it depending on like where you're looking at it in the light. And it has really nice structure to it too. It's very thick. It keeps you nice and warm. It has 3 pockets in the front. It has 2 down here, and then it has 1 on the chest area. And the one right above the chest also has the shepherd's patch. It's the exact same thing on the t-shirt, so I wanted a little recurring motif right there. So again, it's a piece of leather that's been shaved off of the top, and it has the blue metallic thread embroidery of the sheep right there. There's brown piping all around the neck, the sleeves, and the bottom hem. It gives it a really nice structure and shape overall. And the reason why there isn't a size tag on the back of the neck right there is because the size tag is actually in the pocket right there. Had to think about all the little small details. And then when you flip onto the back side, it has some nice construction going on. It has some darting along the shoulders. It also has an adjustable body. I generally just keep it on the default just because I really like how it fits. But if you want to make it more cinched in, kind of like a tighter fitting jacket, then just bring the buttons in on both sides and then you get yourself a tighter jacket. So again, coming back to the front side, it has these buttonholes which allow you to button this jacket into other jackets. And now I'm gonna show you guys the reverse side, so just give me 1 second. All right, so here's what the reverse side of the liner jacket looks like. It's way more simple and toned down when compared to the exterior side. But it's just depending on how you want the jacket to look on the day you're wearing it. Some days I like to wear it on the exterior side, and then some days I like to flip it and have this side going out. But as you guys can see, the pockets are completely different than the other side. Your hands go in at an angle, and there's also the Sherpa fleece on the inside as well. I'm always interested to see which side people gravitate towards when wearing this jacket. For example, when I was in LA and they gave a bunch of these out, Jacob preferred the exterior side, whereas Fernando and Sanjeev preferred this reverse like Sherpa side. This piece does keep you extremely warm too. We did wear this stuff camping, so it's very insulated. This like Sherpa fleece material is so nice, it keeps you very cozy. And then for sizing, I forgot to mention the sizing. I generally like to wear 1 size up with this item, so even though I'm like a medium to large, I think an XL fits me really nicely because then I can layer stuff underneath it. Whereas if I went with a large, it would still fit, it would just be a little bit more fitted, and I probably don't want to wear anything besides like a t-shirt underneath. So definitely keep that in mind when you're thinking about copying this item. If you want to layer stuff underneath, go 1 size up. But if you just want to wear a t-shirt and something like that underneath, maybe stick with your true to size. And yeah, that wraps it up with the clothing items of the collection. Let's hop into some of the accessories. Now the first accessory that I want to show you guys is one that you've already seen quite a bit. A lot of you guys already know what these are. These are the TEO ties from the new collection. I'm already wearing 2 right now. These 2 I've had for probably about 6 months now, and they're pretty much an everyday essential for me. I'm almost always rocking at least one of these necklaces, sometimes both like today. But this is the retail version of the necklace. They're not always going to be exactly like this. They're all going to have a rainbow color scheme to it. They're not going to be like one color scheme like how this one's all red. They're going to have a big variety of colors. Each of these necklaces are handmade, like painstakingly handmade by TEO Sven, who's like one of the guys I've brought on to help co-design with the collection, and also to design this bag that I'll get into a little bit. I guess I'm gonna FaceTime him right now and get him on the horn so he can talk about this item, since he hand makes each one of these. It takes him multiple hours, but yeah. Vibing out? A little bit? Yeah. Alright, so you want to talk about the necklace a little bit? Just give an insight on like...
Oh, for sure. You actually caught me on making some right now.
Oh shit!
Show you a little bit of the process, I guess. So right now, I'm making the tassel part of the necklace. All the whole necklace comes from like different leftover materials, you can call it. So this is the leather deer hide in which I make the tassels. So as you can see, it just looks like a raggedy, I don't know, just like a raggedy scrap. But
yep.
I ended up cutting them into these tassels, which then get tied onto the ropes that I make. So these are made with recycled quilt fabrics. But yeah, it's a pretty long process. takes me about like 3 to 4 hours to make one. So it's a lot of time dedicated just to like one item. So yeah, pretty sweet.
Nice. And yeah, there's going to be on release day not very many, so these are going to most likely sell out no matter what happens, I'd say.
For sure. I mean, yeah, there's like a limited amount. I mean, I'm the only one that makes them, so
yeah.
If you can't get your hands on one, I think I'll continue to make them. Still don't know yet, but yeah, if you want to buy like 4 hours of unsanctioned TEO spend time, then go ahead and get one.
Yeah.
They're super cool. I mean, started off making them, just like getting them out to friends, and then I guess that like built up the traction on them. But yeah, if you want to get one for your great aunt or your girlfriend, go ahead.
Or for yourself.
Yeah, or for yourself. You can. It has magical powers too. I forgot to add that one.
Oh shit.
It's a huge selling point. Yeah.
Okay, might be some legal troubles with that one actually, but.
Yeah. Chill.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to ask you. So yeah, just wanted to give people an insight on like how these are made exactly, what the process looks like. But it's completely sustainable though. Like this is like dead stock materials. The quilt already exists. You just took it like it's a taken apart quilt.
Exactly, and even the thread that I use to like hold the materials together is like leftover thread from one of my friends who's a quilter. So yeah, it's great to be able to like turn something that I guess is going to get thrown away into a pretty cool product. So yeah, if you want one, go grab one on February 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple days.
Be quick. Get your trigger fingers ready.
Oh shit. Bots. We gotta get some bots.
Yeah. No bots.
No bots.
Yeah. Hey, Bandana Boys, what up?
Bandana Boys.
What are they calling you these days? Prison Mike?
Bro, Prison Mike, they're calling me Auntie Owen.
Auntie Owen?
Yeah.
Superman. Yeah, well, I'm going to get back to making one. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'm going to be making as many as I can for all you guys until release date, so...
Yeah, and probably after that too. I haven't mentioned this yet, but most likely for the release, we're gonna have a limited number of them, and then each week we're probably gonna do a restock. So depending on how many Sven is able to make during that week, the end of the week we'll have like a limited stock, and then if that sells out, just keep going forward pretty much. Just because like obviously he can only make so many in a day, so it just makes sense to just keep the products flowing. If you guys want these, then we want it to be available for you guys to purchase. But yeah.
Also, just super hot accessory. I started making them in the summertime. And
yep.
Like, it just go like, I don't know, keep a couple buttons undone, show some chest.
Shit.
Let the TEO tie, rip some looks.
These are pretty much guaranteed to get you a compliment for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're sick.
Where?
I can say that with confidence. I know they're sick.
Yeah.
Let me show you the first, just to show you like the whole way it's come. Let me show
you
what I made, because I think it's in its final form, but just to get the idea out, this is what
shit.
the first one looks like.
This
pretty
is gnarly. Yeah.
It's like personally probably like my favorite one, just because like it kind of like sparked the birth of the TEO ties.
Yeah.
This, I'll put one next to it. This is the final. So yeah, it's come a long way. Changed a lot of things about it. Learned a lot about making them. My sewing skills have improved. So maybe I'm auntie. Oh, maybe I'm maybe I changed it to Tia Sven. But sick. Yeah, thanks for giving me a ring. I'm gonna get back to making it, but. Stoked. Super stoked for us.
Word, yeah, same. Alright, I'm gonna let you go.
Peace, bro.
Later. So yeah, this is what the final product looks like. Comes with a hand-stamped tag with the date on when it was made too. So it's a little bit more personal. These are not like manufactured in a factory, obviously. These are, handmade just by like some dude chilling out in his basement. For the price, these are priced at $125 each. A lot of people have told us to price it higher. We wanted to keep it as available as possible. So $125 for a TEO tie. Each one's gonna be different, so yours isn't necessarily gonna look exactly like this one. Imagine the tag isn't there, but this is the length that they're all gonna be. The ones that I have are like custom lengths and stuff like that. Like one of them is slightly longer, but this is like the retail length, I guess. And yeah, as you guys can tell, we're super stoked on these. Can't wait to release them, and there's gonna be a very, very limited number of these. All right, and moving right along to the final item in the whole collection, we have the bag, aka the Big Sur bag, which is what we dubbed it. And we actually came up with the name of this bag on that camping trip, because we didn't have a name for this bag for a while. We didn't know what to call it. We were like tossing around so many different ideas, and then it kind of came to us to just call it the Big Sur bag, which is where we were camping. So this is the Big Sur reversible bag. So the exterior material on this bag is actually the exact same exterior material on the jacket. So they're both extremely soft, kind of like a vintage cotton. They have a really nice like fade and wash to it, except this is like a olive military khaki green. I just threw a day's worth of clothes into the bag so you guys get an idea of what it looks like with stuff actually in it. But yeah, that is the shape of the bag. The bag kind of slings across really nicely. It sits perfectly on the body. And we call it the Big Sur reversible bag because you can flip it onto the other side, which has the exact same details as the exterior side, except with a different material. The material on this side is like a blue, like a really nice like ocean blue, royal blue cotton canvas. So it has like a different sheen to it, I guess. And yeah, it depends how you want to rock it. Sometimes you want to rock it on the green side, sometimes you want to rock it on the blue side. It has the same pocket, that's where the tags are. It's got the Colette Hyatt and the Pines tag, and it has the TEO Sven tag because it is a collaboration with my buddy Sven. It came a long way from the original idea and the sample. The price of the Big Sur bag is also $125. It's a really great everyday kind of bag. Great for bringing your stuff to school. Maybe you're going on a sleepover, maybe you want to go to the beach, maybe you want to go camping. This is the bag that you want to bring. I'm super happy with the construction too. This piece really came out great. It's like a very, very special item for us. And that is going to wrap it up for the showcase of In the Pines. Again, the drop is on the 22nd at 12 p.m. EST. Make sure to mark your calendars, set your alarms, get your bots ready, whatever. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys so much. Obviously, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to design clothes and then be able to sell it and have that be my full-time job. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, do you want to ask me personally, like a sizing recommendation, feel free to hit my DMs or the DMs of the brand page too. If I'm not responding to one of them, I'll try to respond to as many as I can. Let me know what you guys are planning on copying too. I'm very curious to hear like what items people gravitate towards, because obviously, because I designed this whole collection, I would buy everything because I feel like it fits in with my wardrobe really nicely. But yeah, I'm just so excited to release this. It's been a long time coming. I started designing this collection over the summer, like in June. So it's been a long time. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Peace out, you guys. Have a good day. See you next time.